Well, it's been around 4 seasons the last time we've raced here in Singapore. Well, guess what? 4 seasons later, we're back at the Singapore Grand Prix. Welcome along, everybody, to Breakout Racing League's Tier 3 Championship. We've arrived for round 8. And where else to do it than the first night race in Formula 1 history. That's right, Singapore. 23 corners make up this track, the second most amount of corners in Formula 1, only followed behind by Saudi Arabia, of course, with them having 27. And you got 3 DRS zones, one going into turn 1, the other one going into turn 6, and the other one after the bridge going into turn 14. And this track, well, if you want to see a safety car at one point, I think you are pretty much guaranteed, because this track is very well known for its safety cars. We're just going to have to find out, but first we got to get through qualifying where there will be no safety cars. And as you can see, it is clearly dry here in qualifying, and I'm being reported that there is a little bit of rain here for us tonight. Maybe like 30 minutes in through the race, potentially. That's what I'm being told. We shall find out. Your host here, once again, is Miniko. Alongside me, it is Q-Man, but unfortunately Q-Man is not here right now. He had a little bit of an incident, but he will show up. So when you guys hear him, well, he will be back. We're just gonna have to find out. But yeah, that is your hosts once again. And we're gonna quickly go through the championship while we're at it. Why not? Why not? So, the championship has been flipped once again. That's right. We have a new championship leader once again. This time, it's the Red Bull of one underdog, who now has 110 points at the top of the Drivers' Championship. Just 5 points between himself and the reigning champion, Gary. Once again, those two very, very close in qualifying. Can we see a potential flip later on? We'll have to find out. And third, you've got the Williams of Huis, who has been in a great run of form as of late. He is sitting 25 points behind, so he's within a race win, but it is very, very marginal. And he is quite a ways away from Kieran, who currently sits in 4th, in which Kieran, unfortunately, is not going to show up for this race. In 5th, you've got James B., who grabbed his first podium of the season last week at the United States Grand Prix. Redeemer sits in 6th ahead of Loud Balloon. Haz sits 8th ahead of Kirito. Then it's Flynn rounding out the top 10. In terms of the team's championship, Red Bull lead the way still. 22 points between the Milton Keynes base team and Mercedes, the Silver Arrows. Those two, very, very close. Then following not too far behind is Williams. Williams now sit 3rd, 89 points. They jump up 2 spots after last week. Then in 4th, you've got Aston Martin ahead of Haas. That's Alfa Romeo in 6th, followed by Ferrari. Then McLaren. Ferrari and McLaren are actually tied on points going into this race weekend. We'll see how that changes up. And then Alpine sit in 9th ahead of Alpha Tauri. Your 10 constructors and your top 10 drivers for this race. That is the rundown. And we're going to quickly look over to chat. Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? Hello, Solar. Hey, Haz. Unfortunately, you couldn't make it here today, Haz, but hopefully you'll be back next week for, if I remember correctly, the Belgian Grand Prix. It's going to be very nice. And hello, Solar. Logan Sargent Ra. Yeah, it's good to see Logan Sargent out on the track, which Formula 1 is back, everybody. That's right. Formula 1 is officially back in real life, and dare I say we're in for something exciting. Dare I mention why we're going to be excited about it? Do I dare say it? I think you guys know. All the Fast and Furious movies are about family, says Potato. You are absolutely correct. They are. They very much are. And Ritzy is also there in the chat, giving a bit of hype. I have pad traction, apparently. I do. I'll find a way to spin. Yes, very much so. As we have our first time on the board. That's right. We have our first official time, and it is Lexter in the Alfa Romeo, currently topping the time sheets with a 1:40.2. And that is on the medium compound of tire. Alonso Championship. Wouldn't that be something else? Now there's a new leader here in qualifying, and it's Loud Balloon in the Haas. While we're at it, we might as well go on board as Huis with a barnstorming lap already. 1:37.6. And then Gary moves up. He goes up to P2, 8/10 behind Huis, but he currently sits in 2nd now. Lance Champion. Well, I actually want to know your thoughts about Stroll right now, while we're on the topic of it. What? I know that he has an injury. I am fully aware of that. But if you guys didn't see it, he needed help coming out of the pits, like out of his car, and he was turning the car with his left hand through turn 1, basically numbing the right hand. So, being honest here, I want you guys to answer this. Do you think he should be racing in Bahrain? Personally, I don't think it's a smart idea. I don't think it's a smart idea that he does it. I'll be the first to say it. But, we'll just have to find out. And, well, before we do that, we're going to go on board with a lap on the championship leader of one underdog as he sets around the streets of Singapore. Hard braking into turn 1, and then quickly turn 2 and turn 3 come up closely to you, and then you have to get the car slowed down, get the rotation, and then get the exit out of turn 3. There's a little left-hand kick at turn 4 before going into turn 5. Right-hander into the entry of the first DRS zone. DRS wide open, as my co-commentator has left the session, but I will quickly get back to that as soon as I'm done with this. Then the little kick of turn 5. Turn 6, and then turn 7 could be an overtaking opportunity, but it is difficult to overtake around here. And that's turn 8, getting really on the curve there is underdog there. And then turn 9, a bit of an awkward corner, nothing crazy about that. And now you're heading over towards the Singapore Sling. Well, it used to be 3 corners, now it's just one boring kind of corner, which quickly sets up for turn 11, turn 12, underneath the bridge, make sure not to hit the walls, and then the hairpin, turn 13 before coming up towards your second DRS zone, which could potentially be an overtaking opportunity if you have the run out of the exit of the hairpin. And then it's hard braking into turn 14, down to second gear, and then trying to go wide on the exit, careful not to invalidate from that white line. Then turn 16 and turn 17 follow after that right-hander of turn 15, and then under a bridge. Once again, bit of traffic ahead of underdog. Hopefully they gets cleared real quickly as he's going through turn 18, 19, then 20 and 21. Quite a few chicanes around here. That's really going to overheat the tires. No overheating issues for underdog as he goes around the final 2 corners very quick. And it's Lexter's retired for the session. Oh, that's an Aston Martin. Underdog, he got the cross line. It's a 138.6. That will put him on the second row in 3rd, just ahead of Redeemer in 4th. And there you go. So I shall now invite my co-commentator back. Hopefully he is... hopefully he's getting his issues sorted. I assume he is, because, yeah. It would be nice to have someone around here, because it's going to be a very long race, I'll tell you that much. 31 laps around Singapore. And, well, safety cars, they're definitely not going to help that. So just looking over, obviously we already have our first retirement of the session right now, being Lexter crashing out of turn 3, which is definitely not going to help him. He had his lap on the medium compound of tire, I believe. Yes, he has, which is super unfortunate, but hopefully we'll see what he can do in the race. Yeah, Lexter, I see in the chat.
All right,
that's very unfortunate. Oh.
I have returned.
Hello. You're here.
And to add insult to injury, I lag out of the lobby.
Yeah, I invited you back. Not sure you got that, did you?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, good. Yeah, I just quickly went through pretty much everything, championship, all that, so don't need to worry about that. Lexter's saying that he is stupid because he, obviously you can't see that, but he did crash out of qualifying, which is unfortunate. But hey, as long as you just keep it clean in the race, it shouldn't be that bad. Just have to find out. So far, right now, as it stands at the moment, 12 drivers have currently set a lap time. That being the who has topped the session all the way down to Quick Tongue with a 1 minute 42.0. Huis with a 137.6. A bit of a gap between them. 4 seconds to be exact. So Huis showing great pace already. But we'll see if anybody can possibly supplant that Williams. Maybe Gary. Gary could potentially do it. We have to find out. And Cuman, while you're currently loading in, what do you expect going into this race? Obviously, knowing it's Singapore, it's a street track, guaranteed safety cars. What do you think?
Chaos. There's gonna be a lot of that because, as we say in NASCAR, cautions breed cautions, In this case, safety cars, Prix safety cars. So with that being said, if there is only one safety car, it will just gonna keep bringing more and more and more because of the restarts.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously with this track, it's very narrow. So you have to be absolutely perfect. That is something not all drivers can do. If you can do it, you could have a good result. If you don't, well, there's a couple barriers waiting for you. So, and well, knowing this track, as you mentioned, with safety cars breeding safety cars, but also the chances of a safety car around this track, not only in real life, but I guess you could say in BRL as well, it's guaranteed. With it being a street track, a long street track, there's always going to be a safety car involved. If there isn't one, I'll be dumbfounded. But I highly, highly doubt it. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Going through now, 14 drivers have now set a lap time, I believe. Looking through, I think Whiffy set a lap time just a little while ago. He went up to 8th, just ahead of Sinone. But, we're already 6 minutes... well, there's only 7 minutes left of qualifying, just under. But, well, I might as well get this prediction early. Who do you think could potentially go for pole here, as Loud Balloon goes up to 2nd place?
Oh wow, Lewis has quite the gap. I'm gonna say Lewis keeps it as he has such a big gap. I'm not having doubts on Gary though. I think Gary can get pole because you know he has that extremely good qualifying pace. But I'm still gonna keep my money on Lewis. He's gonna keep that pole position.
Yeah, we'll definitely just have to find out. And, well, as I said, he's showing great pace. And, just to quickly say, by the way, there are 3 drivers in this tier that all have 2 pole positions apiece. Lewis is one, Gary is the other, and the third was the first championship leader, being of Kieran. All of them had 2 poles apiece, with the one separate pole coming from a driver who unfortunately is not here in tier 3 anymore. So if Lewis does do it, he'll have the highest amount of pole positions with 3, and he's also joint most wins with 2 apiece, tied with Kieran as well. So he's basically level with Kieran at the moment, but he's ahead in the standings due to him being pretty much here for every single race. Speaking of Lewis, he actually went into the pit, so he abandoned his first lap. I believe he invalidated. So not exactly what he would have wanted, but he's still there on provisional pole. Which is good to see. And I had a little bit of a report. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I'll have to double check. But Quick Tongue said around the 30-minute mark, there is a chance of rain.
Yes, sir.
So, for us not being in Singapore in the last 3 seasons, we're gonna have a potential dry to wet race around Singapore. And, well, we had a wet to dry Singapore chaos in real life. This is gonna be chaos, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say it's gonna be chaos with dry, because, you know, the fucking thing. My brain's not right now. But yeah, the rain is just going to double the damn chaos, is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, definitely, because, well, it's already hard enough negotiating this track in the dry. Have a little bit of grease on it, like, having dry tires on a wet track, that, you already know that doesn't bode well. And I was told that, and Potato's telling me in the chat that Tier 3 Season 7 Singapore, 3 seasons ago, had monsoon weather. So Singapore and rain definitely correlate some chaos. So, for Potato's logic, we're going to be in for some fun. I already know it.
You'd love to see it.
Iceman
will go P4.
Oh yeah, he does. A good lap there from the Ferrari. And he currently now sits on the 2nd row, just marginally behind Gary, in which Gary is currently on an outlap right now. So a good lap for Iceman. I don't think he's going to have enough time to set another one, though. There's only 3 minutes left of qualifying to go. We're just going to have to find out. I believe Redeemer has just started a qualifying lap. Indeed, he has.
And then Iceman's teammate Shark, he's also on a flying lap. He's actually doing pretty good, maybe some improvement as well. I don't actually see the delta on his steering wheel, but
from the Sector 1
looks like he's
split,
pretty good.
from the Sector 1 split, it said he was half a second up. He's a full second up now.
Oh,
Though, as it stands at the moment, that actually
big
won't...
improvement there.
At the same time, though, that actually wouldn't move him any positions, and he's just invalidated. Oh, dear. That's not what he wanted. He was looking for a great improvement, and that has just gone down the drain in a matter of a millisecond.
Someone retired on track. There's a yellow flag.
Well, Chill did retire, but he's not on track.
Yeah,
He's in the pits. I think the coach...
Oh, Quicon has spun it.
Oh! Yep, he has. And that was on an in-lap.
Together.
Yeah, but he has. Luckily, no damage for him, so that's not going to cause anything. But I think it was just a coach with that yellow flag getting out of the way of some drivers, as both Quick-Tongue and Coach are actually doing that, getting out of the way of the McLaren and the Alpine of Frizy, which Frizy is actually currently on a lap. And I was actually told a little while ago that Frizy may be a little bit hungover. Oh, and that is Shredder.
Has just retired on track.
That's a crash. That's a full-on crash. Well, actually, no, his car's still moving. That's set turn 5.
He was facing the barrier as he like locked up the brakes or something, and then he just decided to retire the car on track.
Very interesting there. Looking over at Gary, by the way, as I was trying to find it, he is just over half a tenth up on his lap time going through to Sector 1. So not much improvement in Sector 1, but there is still plenty of time to find around this long track. There's a yellow flag in front of him, though. That being a Haas. I think that might be of Dennis, but he seems to be gotten that going straight away. What's Gary saying in the second sector, though? How much is he up? He's getting past the Red Bull, I believe, that being of Underdog. Only just under 2/10. So he's not quite finding the time to best Huis into pole, unless he had a bit of a shocker third sector. Just gonna have to find out. He is trying to find time as much as he can, sliding out of a couple corners is that Mercedes. Then going around through turn 21, then the final 2 corners, narrowly missing the wall there on exit. He comes around the final corner. Does he get ahead of Huis? No, he doesn't, but he finds a heap amount of time in Sector 3 to put himself on the front row, but he wasn't able to get ahead of that Williams, in which that Williams is actually right behind him. He's gonna have to be careful. Hopefully he doesn't impede him. He does not. So he got a little bit lucky there. As the clock is ticking down, and sooner or later, there it is. Checker flag has fallen. We're looking over at Loud Balloon and Redeemer. Redeemer's gonna be the first to come across the line. Is he on a lap? He is on a lap. No, he's not, actually. He's diving straight into the pits. So Loud Balloon's going to be the first one to come across the line. Has he found the improvement to go up ahead of Gary? No, he hasn't. He does improve, but he marginally misses out on a potential front row start. That's not what he wanted. Oh, that is whiffy around at turn 19. Oh, and that is a huge crash between the coach and Whiffy. Whiffy's got a 5-place grid penalty for a severe collision.
What in the world happened there?
What I saw, not the coach. Whiffy spun at the exit of turn 18, and he was parked on the track. His car didn't ghost, interestingly, and that has absolutely ruined it. And the coach, his lap was undeniably ruined. Right. Back over to those to set a lap time. Whiffy's gonna come. Not Whiffy. Dennis is gonna come across the line. Goes up to 4th. So Haas currently locking out the 2nd row as it stands at the moment. Next person to come across the line, I believe, is actually gonna be Huis, who's already on pole position. He goes even faster. 1 minute 37.2. Underdog improves up to 2nd place. Great improvement there from the Red Bull. What does Flynn have to say? Doesn't improve. I think that's going to be it for qualifying, unless Gary has something in the bag. No, he does not. He is way down on his time. That is going to be qualifying done. Huis grabs his 3rd pole position of the season, and he did it by just a little bit under 4/10. Underdog, though, ahead of his championship rival, Gary. Once again, those two close together. In fact,
Lewis
actually,
putting a pretty big gap on this field.
oh yeah. Fun fact, actually, the top 3 in this qualifying are the top 3 in the championship. Not in that order, because Underdog and Gary should be ahead of Huis, but that is obviously not the case. Huis grabs his 3rd pole position, but Underdog on the front row ahead of Gary. That is going to be the story. Haas 4th and 5th. Lau Bloom out-qualifying Dennis. Dennis, after having a superb pace around USA, he's showing his pace once again. He's lining up on the 3rd row ahead of Iceman. Then it's Redeemer in 7th, followed by Whiffy. Whiffy does have a 5-place grid penalty, so he'll drop down to 13th. That'll promote Flynn up to 8th, Sonone to 9th. DeCoach in the top 10, Lexter to 11th, Quick Tongue to 12th. And then Whiffy will slot into P13. Shredder will qualify 14th ahead of Frizy. And Chill, being the only driver not to set a lap time here in qualifying. And that's going to sort out our 16 drivers here for a long Singapore Grand Prix.
I forgot how long this race is going to be. I honestly forgot. We're going to be sitting here for a while.
Yeah, we definitely are. Grab your popcorn or your drinks. We're going to need it. I should actually grab my root beer from upstairs. That'd be an idea. Is it being told that your mic is patching? Sounds like a robot. But I don't think that's anything if you're doing. I think that's genuinely just... I think that's... Because right now you sound fine, but I think it's just Twitch, so... Nothing I can really control. It's fine, though. Don't worry about it. Is there now waiting for the drivers? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you seeing people T-posing in the pit lane?
Yep, it's creepy, but...
Okay, that's not just me. Okay. I've been seeing this a lot as of recently. I saw this in Tier 2 last week, where I was just trundling down the pit lane after making my pit stop, and Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, all those guys, they were just standing there, T-posing, and it was a little creeper. Creeper? Creepy.
What?
Creeper. I've been playing Minecraft a lot as of late, alright? No, that's my excuse, I guess. Potato saying he had a league race a couple weeks ago here, and it went from dries to inters to wets to inters to dries. What? That sounds chaotic. So we're just waiting for drivers to get onto this house. Why don't we look at the race director, if it lets me. It will not let me. Okay, here we go. So, okay, I'm seeing a lot of white wool tires. A lot of them. That should be the strategy that we should see here for the Singapore Grand Prix. It should be an easy medium to hard. But that's granted if there aren't any safety cars. And it's Singapore, so don't believe this. But it should be a medium to hard or hard to medium. We're just going to have to find out what everyone else is on. And to clarify, once again, there is no formation lap.
And you do have to think about the rain here, because most of these drivers are on hards, and there might just be chilling on the track until the rain comes in pit. For the medium drivers, there's only 3 or 4 of them. Yep, 4 drivers on mediums, and they might have to pit just before the rain comes. You said the 30-minute mark, so I don't know. I would go on hards here.
Yeah, because 30 minutes, that's quite a stretch. And, well, we're definitely going to hit over 30 minutes, that is for sure. There's no doubt. Might even hit an hour knowing this race, because this race is extremely long. 31 laps, around lap times that should be like, what, 1 minute 43s, 1 minute 44s? Yeah, that's going to take a long time. So, yeah, if I were in that position, I would definitely go for hards. There's no doubt about that. That's probably what I'm going to do in Tier 2. Don't tell anybody. So it's just, and also with that, with the medium tire, they tend to overheat. Because obviously, high fuel loads, and you're running a step softer. Unless you have the setup right, your tires are going to overheat. And if you have tires that are going to overheat around a track like Singapore, the walls are waiting. That's all I got. The walls are waiting for you. We're just going to have to see what the drivers go on, as we're still waiting Damn it. I did not realize it would take this long for people to get their setups on. Just want to quickly say, by the way, this is not exactly a stat that people would want, but I might as well have it here. So far, the lowest reliability in terms of like who has DNF the most, it goes to Demair Jug, who has a 25% reliability record. He's done 4 races. He has DNF'd in 3 of them. Not ideal. And same goes for Gert as well, but Gert unfortunately is no longer here. Oh, I forgot about that. Butters. Butters has done 5 races. He has only finished 1. That is not what he wants. Hopefully he can finish one soon. As we are now going to the 5 red lights for the Singapore Grand Prix, the first night race of Formula 1. Lights out and away we go. Looks like a pretty decent start for the front 2, but Huis gets a better jump ahead of Underdog, and he's cleared to turn 1. There's already a Red Bull on the wall, and that's Flynn. Flynn already on the wall on lap 1. We didn't even make it to turn 1, and there was already a crash. And with that, already a full course safety car, and we didn't even make it through sector 1. What happened there?
So, I'm gonna dissect this for you real quick. So, it looked like Flynn just lost traction on the start and just went into the wall, and then Croton had no time to react, resulting in an entire wing loss.
Wow. That is not how you want to start your Singapore Grand Prix, and he's going to be the first DNF of this race, and I'm pretty sure he is probably thinking, damn. Oh, he got game lag. That's what's up. He got game lag out of that. With that, that's already going to produce the first safety car. What did I say about safety cars? There's a 100% chance of it happening. We already got one.
Yep. Safety cars for safety cars. There's going to be more and more now.
Oh, definitely. Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, so during that very, very short period, Whiffy is already up 6 positions.
Oh, what?
How did he do that? We only had like 2 corners of racing, and he's gone up from 13th to 7th. That's an Alonso start. Actually his teammate ahead of him actually has damage. Sinone has damage on the left-hand side. So that's clearly something happened there. And you said Quick Tongue collided with Flynn, correct?
Yeah.
Looking over at the Aston Martin, he has no front wing at all. So that pretty much all but confirms it. Sinone is into the pits.
Or Flynn started like P8 or something. Yeah, P8, and then when he was just losing traction, basically half of the grid was trying to react quick as possible to avoid. So I think that's why Sinone has wing damage, and Quick Time as well as he made contact. So just drivers trying to avoid the spinning Red Bull.
There was even more contact or something further up ahead because Loud Balloon was involved in all that. He started 4th and he lost a front wing. And he had to go into the pits, and now he's got a new nose, but he's down 10 positions now. But going through the safety car, and while the top 3 have stayed absolutely stationary, no surprise there, who was getting a great jump ahead of Underdog, and Gary was just, well, he just watched those two try and potentially battle it out into turn 1. Didn't exactly happen, but he stayed exactly as is. Dennis, Iceman, and Whiffy all gone up positions. 1 for Iceman and Dennis, respectively. Whiffy up 7. That is a brilliant start for the McLaren, and that is definitely going to boost his hopes. Redeemer stayed absolutely stationary. He didn't move up or move down, which is, well, I guess you could say it's good for him. I mean, he's not exactly, it's not bad, but it's not good type of thing. Lexter, his teammate, who is reserving the Alfa Romeo, he's gone up 3 positions, so good start after crashing out in qualifying. There's the coach up 1, Shredder, Frizy, and Chill up 4 positions, obviously due to the bottom 4, that being Sinone, Loud Balloon, Quick Tongue, and Flynn, who unfortunately retired, all going down the order. And now we're going to look over at the tires. I might as well do that, and we before those people pitted, we only had 3 medium runners. That being of Huis, Dennis, and Frizy. Those are the only 3 runners on the medium compounded tire. The rest of them, all on the hards. They are anticipating the rain, and well, the rain is definitely going to come sooner with this.
Get ready for more city cars because it's going to come, so.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And Flynn was saying 1 minute driving towards and then next in the wall. He was like, what the hell? That, yeah. Whether that was wheel spin or potential contacts, who knows? But that is definitely not how the Rebel wanted to start.
It was wheel spin. I had a pretty good angle on that.
Right, okay.
The only contact time was between quick time, but that was when he was hitting the wall, so.
Gotcha. With that, that will mark Flynn's second DNF of the season. His first DNF, that being in the opening race of the season. Oh, that is the crash. Dennis is in the wall. What happened there? Did someone hit the rear of him? Did he just loop it off traction? What was that?
It honestly looked like no traction at all, honestly.
Well, it may not breed another safety car, but that's definitely not going to help under a safety car. He's got no front wing at all. And likewise it was with Grosjean in the Haas in 2018 Azerbaijan. He's completely dropped it under safety car and has lost his front wing. He's still able to keep going, unlike Grosjean. But that is going to throw a massive spanner in the works for the Haas. And he has to pit. That's going to promote quite a few drivers, and now that puts Whiffy up 8 positions now. Okay.
I think Whiffy when they hit us, I'll stop. Anyways, so. Yeah, safety car's going to come in this lap most likely, and Dennis is on the pit, and he will not be a part of this restart most likely, so.
Yeah, he definitely won't. He'll just have to dive straight into the pits, no doubt about it.
And Lexter almost chopped the coach's front wing off. Jeez.
Well, obviously with the safety car being called in, that will definitely do that a little bit. But luckily, no contact made, and they still both have their front wings and rear wings, respectively. So they're good to go, as the safety car is going to be in on this lap. And it's up to Huis to jump them across the line. He's on the medium tire, so he needs to get this jump and pull a gap before the rest behind start to catch it, because those mediums will not last very long. Well, they'll last a decent amount. But at some point, those hards will start to catch up to him, and that is not what he wants. He's got to find out everyone weaving around, trying to get temperature into their tires. And when does the Williams go? He's going to have to go soon. And he's going to go out of the final corner. Indeed, he has. Gets a decent jump, but not a good enough jump. Though Gary with a great jump off the safety car restart as we are racing. Once again, Gary and Underdog going wheel to wheel. Gary up the inside. Cuts the corner a little bit. Now has the inside landed into turn 2. Underdog going to try and keep it around the outside on the exit. Who's got the better traction too? Looks like Gary's got it, but they're still going wheel to wheel. Through to turn 5 now. Underdog with the inside line. Actually doesn't get it. Gary goes round the outside, and he completely jumps the Red Bull and up into second place. A great restart for the Mercedes, but that has left the Williams of Huis to go in clear air and jump away from everybody else. Huis leads from Gary, from Underdog, from Iceman. Then comes Whiffy, Redeemer, Lexter, Shredder. So far, everybody's staying stationary. A step for second and third. Huis already pulling a 1.3 second gap of the rest of the field. That is exactly what the Williams wanted.
Yeah, and further back, there was a lot of contact between a lot of drivers. I don't exactly know who it was, but there was quite a lot of contact on these restarts. The lot of drivers being extremely aggressive from lap 4 especially.
Yeah, definitely is. Oh, Shredder nearly goes into the back of Lexter there through the hairpin. Doesn't hit him, luckily, but Naz compromised him. He was awfully close to the back of that Alfa Romeo, but nothing doing right then there. La Balloon looking for a move on Sonone, but can't do anything of it. Sonone goes a little bit deep. That might invite La Balloon to go for a move. He's thinking about it. He's just going to slot behind and stay behind him for a little bit longer. Meanwhile, Chill is looking all over the back into Coach here through Sector 3, and oh, nearly hits the back of him. Or did he? It was awfully close, but luckily for him, nothing bad has happened, and Chill will just have to stay behind for that little bit longer. But he's now going to be under pressure from Sonone, and La Balloon is Huis now sets a fast lap. Oh, that is La Balloon going wide, and that is allowed Quick to get ahead. And La Balloon is actually in the pits. He got front wing damage from going wide there.
Again with the wing damage.
Both Haas drivers getting compromised off of just mistakes.
Both actually had good qualifying decisions as well. P4 and P5. And now it changes to now 5 laps. P14 and 15.
It has completely unfolded for the American team. And now they are down in, like you said, 14th and 15th. And that's not what they want for their championships, respectfully, as they are sitting in 5th in the Constructors, 2 points behind Aston Martin. Aston Martin not outscoring them, but it's very close. But that's not what they would have wanted going into this race.
We got a chill here on the back of the coach here.
Yeah, I was just seeing that, and chilling, getting a little bit squirrely off the exit there. Can you think about a move? The coach going a little bit defensive into the hairpin, but who gets a better exit out of the two? Looks like Chill got a decent exit. He's tucked into the slipstream of the AlphaTauri. Can you think about a move going into the next corner? Not quite, doesn't think about it. The coach goes a little bit deep, though. Could that have been contact? Chill's going to try and go for it around the outside, which quickly switches the inside. He backs out. He'll stay behind once again, but I'm sure he's feeling very frustrated behind that behind the AlphaTauri of the coach. As who assessed the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1:42.1, pulling a 2.3 second gap over Gary. Gary pulling 1.7. That's the yellow flag, and that is Lexter that's around. Lexter's gone around at the final corner, and that's a virtual safety car because the Alfa Romeo has completely lost his front wing.
That's a reset. I think that was a reset the track as well.
It was looking like it. I'm not entirely sure. It was awfully close, though. That is a guarantee. But that is not what the Alfa Romeo would have wanted. He was sitting right behind his teammate in 7th. But now that has absolutely compromised this race. He's going to have to go into the pits. And Ritzy undeniably saying, pain. Because obviously Lexter and Ritzy do know each other. And, well, supporting him is he as well. Oh, the virtual safety car's already done. So we're back racing once again.
Quick.
That was very quick. That only lasted like 20 seconds. Or 30, something like that. I don't know. Nonetheless, though, we're back racing once again, and well, I'm seeing quite a few DRS trains right now. That being from P8 all the way down to P10, maybe even P11. And also one from 5th down to 7th. So we're seeing a couple trains at this stage of the race. And, well, that is kind of what you expect around a street course. That is for sure. The coach going a little bit deep there into the hairpin. But he's not going to have to worry about that Alpine being anywhere near him by the time they reach turn 14. He's good to go. He's just going to keep that position in P8. Chill is just all over the back of him, though. That Alpine really wants to get a move on. He wants to catch the rest of the guys in front, but he's just stuck.
I think the best chance here for this move is going to be on the straightaways here with the DRS enabled. Probably not on the straightaway with the start-finish line, but the other one.
Turn 7, going into turn 7, yeah. He needs a good exit out of turn 5. He gets really wide, though. He goes wide twice, actually. That's not what he wants. He's going to close up, luckily, due to DRS, but that's not going to make a difference. The coach going a little bit deep, though, into turn 2 and turn 3. But it doesn't really matter because, well, he can just park it.
Getting here.
You gotta... Didn't exactly get the best of runs. He's got DRS. He's not on the button. I think he's just gonna have to stay behind a little bit longer. Indeed, he is. So, not exactly getting the exit. The coach going a little bit deep again. Could that invite the Alpine? Is so tight. Even the McLaren of Sonone is on the back of these guys. Basically, it's basically pushing one another.
The coach making a lot of mistakes here. I think Joe's just gonna wait until he will actually make a big mistake that he can actually attack on.
He needs to catch the AlphaTauri off guard. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah.
He's so close coming out of that bridge. He is basically pushing the AlphaTauri. Bit of contact.
Ooh, there it is, a little contact too.
That's what I was waiting for. Bit of contact between the Alpine and the AlphaTauri. No harm doing for either driver though, but that is definitely gonna let the coach know. Oh, there's even more contact. Oh wait. Well, somehow the coach didn't go into the barrier. Oh, and now Chill is in the barrier. That just looked like he turned left. Sonone did tap him. I don't think that's going to be enough.
that might have been contact from Tsunoda, but that was just like basically a kiss.
That is very bizarre. I have never seen that before. As Lexter's retired, that is a crash on track.
Lexter has wrecked it.
And that's a full course safety car. Well, that's going to help Chill, that's for sure.
Yeah, so back to the Chill incident. From what I can remember, this Tsunoda tapped him on the right rear, and you think I was in the right direction. No pun intended, but it just sends him left. So I don't know. It looked like it lost attraction. Maybe it lost attraction.
I think that bump while he was trying to get traction, I think that tap on the rear just unsettled the car even more when he was trying to get said traction. I think that's what caused him to go to the left there. I think that might have been what happened. Not entirely sure, but nonetheless, the safety car will help him as he's going to climb back onto the rest of the pack. He actually hits the wall on exit, so that's not what he wants. But, yeah, there we go. Second DNF of the season, and this time it is, second DNF of the race. And that is going to be the Alfa Romeo of Lexter. Not exactly how he wants to start here in BRL. And he's just going to have to go, again, in which next week, Belgian Grand Prix, whole different track. That's going to be an interesting race, that's for sure. A lot of overtakes, whereas this Prix not seen much. Oh, as my co-com has left the session. Great game. You might have to entertain a little bit because I actually have to quickly do something. So, it'll only take like a minute or so. So, I don't know. Try and find something to talk about, I guess. I will be right back, everybody. Alright, there we go. I'm back. And I'm already being told that rain is imminent by Spin Axis. Wait. Oh, you can! You're right! Wow! So the gamble from Huis has actually worked! Being on the medium tire with these safety cars, this has actually worked beautifully into his hands, because he doesn't need to pit until it gets too wet for the dries. Somehow, this has just worked out perfectly. Who the heck is that? Targaryen. That was Tangerine. Tangerine. What? Well, that's a first. Tangerine. What? You're making up words now. What is that? Targangerine. Yeah, I could tell. Fair enough. Oh, we have a couple pitters. The coach, Quick Tongue, and Frizy all into the pits. They're immediately putting on the inters. Oh dear. Drive-through penalty for Chill for speeding under safety car. quite possibly, because the track still looks very dry. Chill gets another drive-through. Oh, dear. He's just trying to catch us to the safety car. Not again. This is the second time this has happened now. Yeah, the rain is going to intensify. We know this. Because the rain isn't just going to be here for a little bit. Like, it's guaranteed that the rain is going to come down even harder. But, yeah, it does not look dry enough whatsoever to even think about inters. You have to coach, Frizy, Quick Tongue, even Loud Balloon. Loud Balloon's nowhere near the pack. He's opted to go for it as well. At the same time, though, it's going to take quite a while for these drivers to get around. Like, it's going to take them around over 2 minutes to get around the track and get into the pit lane. So, if they play this right, and the rain falls even heavier within the next, like, the next minute, they could look like geniuses. I'm seeing raindrops forming on the halo to coach. So it's definitely getting there. Well, here's some info from Potato in terms of what the coach is doing. It said it worked in Season 7, Tier 3. Person was P8 or P9 when they pitted. Obviously, the coach was around that area, actually. After a safety car came in and the rain started coming down, they pitted for the inters. By the end of the safety car period, they ended up to be P1. Now, I don't know if that's foreboding anything, but if the rain does intensify, the coach is looking in a good position, so we're going to have to watch out for that. Never mind, the coach is going straight to the pits. He's abandoning that strategy. That is a very interesting call there. So, quite possibly, the rain is getting worse, though. But Chill is going on to a set of inters. The coach is on a set of mediums. Like, just looking, the track is definitely, it definitely looks very dry. But, from the looks of Frizy, oh, whoa. Hello? Hello? He's just coming out of the pits. What is going on there? I think he's just meant to retire in the pits in general, but I think he's just did it a little bit too late. I think that might have been what happened. Unsure. True, but there's also many drive-throughs. Oh, Iceman! Iceman having a moment. Did he hit the wall? Not sure. It doesn't look like he has any damage. He's being let by Frizy and Quick Tongue. Yeah, it's still not wet enough. Frizy and Quick Tongues and Loud Balloon still seem to be sticking with the strategy, though. They think it's still the right call. Whether it is the right call or not sure, but it definitely doesn't look like it right now. Safety car in this lap, so this will be our true indication as to whether this gamble is the right gamble. Right now, it doesn't seem to be the case, because nobody else is pitted. We're just going to have to find out who is trundling down Sector 3. He's going to try and get temperature into those tires, whereas at the same time, try and pull away from Gary once again. He's already done this once. He's going to try and do it once more. Can he is the question, though, because those mediums are certainly going to be very worn. No, there is not. Lewis is gone. He's going already. And, oh, he gets a little bit of a twitch on the exit of the final corner. So that is something. He got a little bit of a twitchy moment. The grip is definitely decreasing, but the race is now resumed. And Lewis still leads the pack. Ahead of Gary, ahead of Underdog, ahead of Whiffy, and Redeemer rounding out your top 5. As right now, Loud Balloon's dived into the pits. Loud Balloon's already dived right back into the pits. And what is he doing? He's sticking with the inters, but he got front wing damage. So that is not ideal. And just looking over at the looking over the Alpine of Frizy, he's not entirely okay. Looking over, Frizy's not entirely been completely jumped from the rest of the pack. He's actually getting dive bombed by Quick Tongue off the inside. There's contact. There's even more contact between Sinone, Quick Tongue, and Frizy. Not sure what happened there, but Quick Tongue's managed to get ahead of all of them, and he's up at a 9th. So maybe we'll see how he does in. Yeah, these two are on the same compounded tire. There's raindrops on the track. There's raindrops on the track. I don't know if you see it, but the rain is definitely increasing. As Iceman looks for a move. Oh! It is very close to the barrier, that is for sure. But luckily, nobody has made contact, and Dennis is able to keep on going. Same with Iceman, but that was definitely a bit of a late move and a bit of a bold move. We'll just have to see. But looking over at Quick Tongue, he's not dropping off the back of these guys right now. He is losing a bit of time now, but I think the dries definitely look they definitely look better. Oh yeah. The rain is increasing, but it's not enough. Iceman's in the pits. Iceman has dived into the pits. He's retired. He's got a front wing change, but that now spells the 4th DNF of this race. I'm not sure why you would do that, but okay. We're just... Yeah, as Dennis and the coach going at it, and the coach has the inside line going through to turn 5, and actually got better traction in relation to Dennis. Dennis now has to tuck in behind the AlphaTauri, so the coach is back up into 8th place. Dennis is going to try and look for a move, not quite. Frizy's looking for a move, he backs out of it. He's not going to quite make the move, but his inters are not exactly dropping off in relation to the two in front. Obviously, Dennis being on the hards and the coach being on the mediums. It's still looking like the dries are the faster tire. But Quick Tongue, he's dropped off from Shredder. The gap between them is 2 seconds, though. Just gonna have to see. He's starting to gain time, though. Quick Tongue, oh, he's just gained a heap load of time. Could it be time? As Frizy goes for a move around the outside of Dennis. And Frizy is now up into 9th. And remember, he's on the inters too. So the inters are starting now to make moves. Quick Tongue closed up all over the back of Shredder. We're going to have to look at that delta between Quick Tongue and Huis, because that's the one we're going to have to watch out for. Looking at the leader delta, he's not entirely gaining, but he is stuck behind Shredder. He is stuck behind Shredder, and that... That is Redeemer and Whiffy diving into the pits. Whiffy going very slow into the pit lane. That's definitely going to hold up Redeemer. The question is can Quick Tongue get ahead of Shredder? He is going to go for around the outside into turn 1. He's got it. The track definitely looks a lot more wet. But now, this is the true difference. Quick Tongue against Huis in terms of the delta. Quick Tongue, he is not entirely gaining, but he's not entirely losing any time either. Quite possibly. May have been a little bit of an early call, but it was a call nonetheless. Looking at it. Oh! Yep, he has, and that is going to be another safety car. Our 3rd safety car of this race. And the coach, was that potentially just a driver? Was that just driver error? Was that what that was? This is the cue. This is the time for the front 3. There's no doubt. The track is very greasy at this stage. At this point, you have to pit. You have to. Well, not exactly, because Turkey was a whole nother level of, yeah. I don't even know what to describe that. That was such a good race, though. Oh, no! Quick Tongue gets a drive-through. Oh, no! But he was looking like... Oh, he's got another! No. Well, I mean, not everyone has done it. It's only been Chill and Quick Tongue right now, but that... I'm being told that you don't have audio included. Do you not? Uncheck it and recheck it. Quite possibly. But, you really have to feel for... You really have to feel for Quick Tongue there. So, with that though, Frizzy's gonna... Wait a minute! So Frizzy's on a set of inters. Look at what Whois, Gary, and Underdog went on. They're on hards and mediums. That is a very, very interesting call. So it really looks like that the drivers just have no idea. They have no idea. Could they be thinking that's the crossover point? Do you think it might be the crossover point where the dries and the inters have similar pace? Because if that's the case, then this race is a huge unknown. This is Turkey! Yeah, but at the same time, if you look at the track, there are some, like, wet patches here and there. Not puddles, but definitely some patches. And the rain, you can see raindrops on the track as well. So, this is a very confusing part. The drivers don't even know what's going on. Yeah. And something to note, by the way, although the front three, before they pitted, they were on dries. They're on dries still. But everyone behind them, they are. But here's the thing. Whiffy, Redeemer, Shredder, and Loud Balloon, they are staying out. Frizzy gets a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane. But Redeemer, Shredder, Loud Balloon, Quick Tongue, Frizzy, and Whiffy, although those three are now pitting, Redeemer, Shredder, and Loud Balloon, they are sticking with this strategy. They still think the inters are the way to go. But are they? My brain is completely gone. What? I've been commentating since Season 7, and I've never seen something like this. Huh. It really has. It's blown your mind, it's blown my mind. I have no idea what to make of this. One thing's for sure, though, is that Dennis now leads this race. Oh! Got really close between Dennis and Whois there. But luckily no contact. Yeah. This is interesting. The rain seems to be at a steady point. It's hard to tell if it's getting drier or if it's raining harder. I don't know. But the top four, yeah, it is. The top four opting to stay out on a set of dries. Same with 8th down to 11th. Redeemer, Shredder, Loud Balloon opting for the inters. So majority are thinking that the dries are the way to go. We're just gonna have to find out, but as of right now, Dennis leads this race on 12 lap old hards from Whois, from Gary, from Underdog, all on dries. Redeemer, the first driver on the inters. He's gonna be the one to watch out for as the safety car is gonna come in on this lap. So Dennis is gonna lead them away from P1 all the way down. Whois is gonna try and get the jump because Gary and Underdog, they're on a set of mediums. They're gonna be very quick in the early stages. So they're going to want to try and get past that Williams as soon as possible. Along with that, they're going to have to try and get past the Haas in front. But it's just P5, P6, P7. Those are the guys to watch out for. The rain is here, and it's still going, but the track is completely in the unknown. Dennis is gone. He's gone, and look at Gary once again. Gary's got an amazing jump off the safety car restart. He's up the inside. He cuts the corner again. Who is able to keep it ahead of the Mercedes, though, so who is still keeps second place ahead of Gary, ahead of Underdog. Just looking at the inters, Redeemer not exactly getting the best of temperature, and, well, he's not entirely dropped off on the back of these guys. Just got to watch that Delta, and Gary could potentially look for a move. No, who is just looking for a move as my Delta's broken? Oh, dear. Oh, no, there we go. There we go, we're good. But who is just looking for a move on Dennis, nearly going 3 wide. Dennis is holding the middle, and who is trying to go up the inside now, and he has got that inside line, and he takes the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix. Oh, Dennis into the wall. He's in the wall, and there's another, both Haas's. Both Haas drivers are in the wall. They did. But Dennis is now down to 6th, and oh no, Shredder. Potentially a spin off the curb. Doesn't look to be the case. The rain stopped. The rain. So the gamble for Redeemer, it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked at all. That might have been why Shredder spun. The gamble has not paid off, and now those on the inters, they have to pit. They are gonna have to pit. I mean, you gotta hand it to them. They tried. The rain just didn't want to cooperate, but, you know, if you want to go for a gamble, now's the time. Does Redeemer go into the pits? No! Redeemer doesn't go into the pits, and Sano makes the move on Dennis before the final corner. Dennis is actually into the pits. Dennis into the pits, and that is going to be for front wing change, no doubt, as Sano is trying to break the toe from Whiffy. Whiffy's going to try and go around the outside of his teammate, and actually, I think that might have been synchronized between the two. Sanone lets his teammate by and manages to keep Frizy at bay. But now, most of the insert drivers, except for Redeemer. Redeemer hasn't pitted, but the rest have. So Huis now leads the race once again from Gary, from one Underdog. Gary is all over the back of the Williams at this stage of the race. Underdog a bit further back, but now this is a straight fight between the Mercedes and the Williams. Mercedes is gonna have to get it done if he wants to take any hope from the Singapore Grand Prix, because those mediums will die off. Yeah, definitely, but I'm surprised that the rain didn't even last that long. That's actually huge, because usually rain, whenever you get rain, it usually lasts quite a long time, but I guess it was just a short period. So that's very interesting. But Redeemer's probably thinking that he's completely messed this up, because he's on a completely different tire in relation to everybody. So this has not exactly worked to the way of the Alfa Romeo. Is going to dive into the pits, no doubt. DRS has been enabled, and Huis is starting to pull away from Gary. Could that potentially be overheating for the mediums, or even just dirty air potentially playing a part? Redeemer into the pits now, and no doubt he's going to go onto a set of the medium compound of tire. I think the mediums can make it, surely. It's the pits. Yep, set of mediums for the Alfa Romeo. The gamble hasn't worked, but he's still going to come out, and he's still going to come out in P7, so he could still salvage quite a few points out of this. But he's probably going to be hoping, if he wants any shot of anything better, for another safety car. We've already had 3 safety cars, so a 4th one definitely not out of the question. Battle's starting to form now. The 2 McLarens going to battle out for 4th, and also Huis and Gary potentially going to battle it out for the lead of this Grand Prix. And well, he's held the lead for so long. He's led majority of this race quite comfortably. But now he's just going to have to hang on because that Mercedes is definitely going to be hounding all over the back of him, which Dennis actually made a move on Shredder down the straight. And Dennis is now up into 8th place. He's going to try and chase after Redeemer for 7th now. So, the Haas showing plenty of pace at this stage. Now we're at a calm point of the race. Now we're at a calm. But, yeah. Oh, that! Yeah. Doesn't hit the wall. And both times he hasn't hit the wall, but clearly the bridge is clearly a huge struggle for the Ferrari. We know what you mean. Oh! I think Dennis might have just hit the wall coming out of the turn 21. Doesn't look like he has any damage, so he managed to escape from that, but that potentially could have just rattled him a little bit, but he is still okay. He's going to try and close up onto the back of Redeemer. He has very much closed up onto the back of him. He's got DRS. He's got the slipstream. Redeemer's going to be looking in his rearview mirrors, seeing where that Haas is, where the Haas is going to go for it. He's going to try and go for it around the outside. Redeemer covers the inside. Dennis is going to try and go around the outside. Bit of contact between the two. Redeemer's around. I think that was because of the contact. I mean, Dennis was bold for trying to go around the outside. He was bold for trying to go around the outside, which he would have actually made it work. It looked like he had quite a bit of grip, but I think, to be honest, I might label that down as just racing incident. You know, going wheel to wheel. There was plenty of space. There was some space, but it's just sometimes drivers take up a little bit too much. I think that might have been the case, but nonetheless, though. No damage for either driver. Redeemer's going to keep on going. He's going to try and chase after Shredder for P8, but that is definitely not going to help him at this stage of the race. And, well, he's just going to have to hang on. Yeah, he is, and at the same time, they are pulling away from Frizy as well, so the two McLarens having a pretty good day. And this is actually very reminiscent to 2022, whereas both McLarens were 4th and 5th in the actual Singapore Grand Prix. And right now, both of them sitting quite comfortably in those positions. They have quite a bit of a gap to Frizy, because Frizy does have a time penalty. And they're close between each other. All they have to do is just keep it calm, keep it clean. And, well, McLaren definitely looking good at this stage of the race for a good haul of points, which will be helpful for them in the team's championship, because they are currently sitting down in 8th. Not exactly where they want to be, but with this points haul, they will jump ahead of Ferrari. And looking at it, 4th and 5th, that is 22 points. They will jump ahead of Alfa Romeo. So that'll boost them up to 6th in the Constructors, which is probably exactly what they would have wanted. And that would help Whiffy get some points on the board for his 6th, and Sanone getting even more points. Rule number 1 of racing in motorsport: never crash with your teammate. That's exactly what they need to do. They know their teammates, obviously. They can both clearly tell they're in an orange car, so there's no doubt about it. Obviously, they're both looking pretty similar on pace, but the question is who thinks they are the fastest driver? I think Whiffy might be thinking he might be a little bit quicker, and he's just towing Sanone around, which is fine. So they're looking good right now, so they're just going to have to keep it calm. Dennis now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 141.4. And, well, he's quite a ways off of Frizy, actually, so he is nowhere near contention of any more points unless something happens later on. Looking over the front two, by the way, And Gary is on the fringes of DRS. He might not even have it going down the straight. He doesn't. It's gonna be tough though, because you can see the blinking light of that Mercedes. He is low on ERS. That's something Gary's kind of known for. He may be quick and consistent, but his ERS levels aren't exactly the best. So he's just having to hang on. He's not going to be able to make a move unless he charges up any of that ERS, which I think it's actually pretty difficult to get any ERS, which is ironic because you're not on the throttle as much around this track. But you lose quite a bit of it. Yeah, Redeemer getting back to the groove. Shredder, he does, but luckily for him, he manages to hold position. But Redeemer getting back into the groove, getting back into the rhythm. He's closing up onto the back of that Ferrari as Dennis gets a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. I believe that is his first time penalty of the race. But Redeemer starting to close in. Frizy now with another 3-second. That puts him up to, I think, oh, he's up to 11. Damn. All right. I was expecting a little bit less than that, but no, 11 seconds for the Alpine. And this could be Redeemer's chance. Can he think about a move going into turn 1? No, he does not. Had a little bit of a look. Oh, super close between them. Shredder not exactly hitting the apex. Tiny bit of contact, but nothing crazy. Just a little love tap going through turn 3. But now, this is the exit that Redeemer needs. Does he have a decent exit? It looks so. He's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream, he is on that button. Shredder's low on ERS, can Redeemer think about it, try and go around the outside? Thought about it, Shredder defended the inside line, he's gonna hold on to it, and Redeemer thinking about a move into the next corner, he just can't do anything, but he can see that that Ferrari is low on ERS, so advantage Redeemer at this stage. Oh, no doubt. He's on fresher tires. He's on fresher tires. He's got more ERS. He seems to have quite a bit of pace. He's just stuck right there, but he got a decent exit there. Or did he? Yeah, he got a good run, actually, out of the hairpin. He's got DRS. He's got the slipstream. Could he think about a move going into here? He does! Down the inside! Shredder manages to keep it, though, around the outside. So Shredder, though he doesn't seem to have the pace, he's defending that position for all his might. It may be hard to overtake around here, but who says we still can't have hard racing? And that's exactly what we got there. And Shredder holding on. He does have a time penalty, though, so that's not exactly helping him. But, you know, that doesn't mean you give up. So he's still gonna keep going at it, and Redeemer closing in onto the back of these guys. They're gonna have to be a little bit careful, though, because at the same time, as these two are battling, Loud Balloon is closing in onto these guys as well. So this could turn into a two-way fight, into a three-way fight, if Shredder manages to hold ahead of Redeemer. The Redeemer is going to get a second bite of the cherry, and Shredder's actually breaking the slipstream going down the straight. Redeemer does have the DRS, but he's not close enough to make a move. He's going to have to stay behind a little bit longer, and I'm pretty sure he's feeling very frustrated at this stage of the Grand Prix. Yeah, quite definitely. And, well, although he is low on ERS, as I did mention, it doesn't really matter by the looks of it. So, he's managing to hold on, but the question is, can Redeemer potentially try and get it at this point? Because he's closed in. He's closed in once again. He's going to think about it. Yes, he is! Up the inside! Bit of contact. Oh, no. Not again. He tried the move, bit of contact, and is just gone. And, well, the Alfa Romeo, which he's been pretty vocal about his performances as of late, whereas things have just not simply gone his way, and this might be another race to add to his list. As well, he's down in P10, so he'll still grab a point, but I don't think it would have been what he would have wanted, because he was up in the top 5, and now he is down in 10th, which is not ideal. Yeah, he is. He's closing in onto the back of the Williams once again. He was nearly falling out of DRS, but I think could that potentially have been tire graining for the mediums, whatever it is. He seems to have it sorted, and he's closing in onto the back of him once again, though he's still low on that battery. He's still low, and he's just not going to be able to make a move unless he is basically pushing that Williams into a mistake, potentially. But Lewis, he's led this race for like 20 laps at this stage. He's held it, he's kept it calm. He's been very calm and collected, and while this seems to be another case of just keeping it easy and consistent, and despite the pressure, he's holding on. So Lewis just managing his pace, managing his tires. He's doing everything he needs to. Oh, no. He is. Has he lost his front wing? No. This is not the day for the Alfa Romeo. Yeah, but it could have been so much more. It could have been. The Inter gamble didn't work. You could always go for more, though. That pretty much sums it up. Good pace, could have been more. Yeah, he has. Tell you what, he got a great exit out of that hairpin. He is closing up onto the back of that Williams. He seems to have his grip sorted despite having 11-lap-old mediums. So he's still managing to have decent pace even at this stage of the Grand Prix, which is incredible, to be honest. Because at this point, his tires will be dead. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he is, and he's actually hanging on quite comfortably now, whereas before he was hanging on by the skin of his teeth. So he is he's staying there as it stands at the moment. But it's just, he's not quite able to make the move. Whereas, while they're doing this entire time, they've just completely dropped Underdog. Underdog has not exactly had the pace of the front two. He's still there in P3, and while looking over at the championship, Underdog is still going to have the championship lead coming out of this race if things stand the way they are. But the gap between them is going to go from 5 points down to, I think, looking over, who has the fastest lap? Dennis has the fastest lap. So the gap will go down to just 2 points between the Mercedes and the Red Bull, with the Red Bull respectively in front. That he has. And no front wing loss. He's kept on going. He's all good. Oh, whoa. He just had a huge moment out of the first corner. Managed to keep it together, though. Yeah, no, as I was saying, at this stage, 2 points separate the Mercedes and the Red Bull. But one thing's for sure is that Lewis is closing on onto the back of both of them, because he's gaining 10 points over Underdog and 7 points over Gary. So as it stands at the moment, he'd have a 15-point gap between himself and Underdog. So Lewis, who is in P5 for a good amount of the early stages of this championship, has now completely boosted himself into a championship fight. And you cannot deny that regarding his pace in the last couple of races. So Lewis has been really putting in the work, putting in the laps, and he has put himself very much within the question, within contention. He's in it. He's in it to win it. And right now, he's looking for his 3rd win of the season. See if he can hang on. They say that, yeah, Underdog is there. Underdog's been extremely consistent, so he's still very much there. And Frizy, by the way, he's in the pits. Frizy's in the pits. He goes onto a set of the soft compounded tires. That might be a push for the fastest lap. He might not be able to keep P8, though, because Loud Balloon's coming around the final corner. And it looks like he's going to be able to get ahead of that. Oh, dear. And at the same time, Sonoda's just left. He has. And he's actually lost his front wing. He's lost his front wing out of the final corner. They say that, yeah, he has 3 lap fresher mediums than than Gary and Underdog. Actually, wait a minute. There's someone who has even more tire wear in relation to the rest of them. Loud Balloon has 15 laps on those mediums, and still going on strong. Sonoda's saying he got kicked, so gonna have to try and invite him. I will search you and that sounds weird. I will find you. That sounds even weirder. Here, I'll quickly get you. Oh, did he just join back right then and there? I think he did. It looked like he did. Wait, what? He has! What? I don't know. As Redeemer grabs a 3-second time penalty. He's back! Well, he's in for a welcome surprise. I don't know, but this is a welcome surprise. He's going to come back on track, and he's saying, hey, oh, he just let his teammate by. All right. Well, yeah, definitely. Sonoda's definitely thinking, no, I don't want this. I want you to finish ahead because, obviously, it'd be great for Whiffy to get some points. That is a yellow flag. He still doesn't have a front wing, let's not forget. And I'm seeing a first timer in the chat. Might as well look at chat for a bit. What is this league? Well, Breakout Racing League is a North American based league in which we race usually F1 22, mainly the F1 games. And, well, like I said, live in North America, we have 3 tiers for us. Obviously, you're watching Tier 3. As it stands at the moment, we run usually at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then you got Tier 1 and Tier 2 at 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. tomorrow. Be sure to tune into that. And if you're wondering where I'm from Canada. So I'm very much within the North American regions, and my co-commentator is American. Majority of people here are within North America, though we do have quite a few Australians and Europeans. So wherever you are from the world, you are more than welcome to join us, as we are also a cross-play league. So if you're on PC or PlayStation, then if you want to join us, then we will most certainly give you that invite. So if you want to join, I might as well plug in the Discord in the chat. There you go. If you want to join the Discord, then be sure to click that link. I don't often do that, so there's your plugin for BRL. I think I nailed it. No. That could go so wrong if you say it the way you are. But we see what you mean. Frizy is all over the back of Loud Balloon in the dying stages of this Grand Prix. Obviously, Frizy being on the set of softs. Oh, there's contact! Oh! Okay, stop. The contact, though, between Frizy and Loud Balloon. Loud Balloon keeps on going, same with Frizy. Both of them do not have front wing damage. But that allows Redeemer actually to slot in between both of them. And now Redeemer could potentially even look for a move on Loud Balloon. Can you think about it? No, he is not. So he's going to have to stay behind that a little bit longer, as we are actually on the final lap. Wow. We're already here. It's saying, greetings from Poland in the middle of the night. Ah, well, seeing some from Poland. That is actually, I think that's a very rare occurrence. So, yeah, greetings from Poland. Well, I mean, greetings from Canada to Poland, I guess you could say. Actually, yeah, pretty much. But yeah. Now, Final lap, and well, it seems as if Lewis has got this in the bag. He's got a 2.8 second lead over Gary, and all he has to do is just take a cruise to the finish. The Williams, who has recently found his form as of late, and he has taken that form to a whole nother level. He's already got 2 wins to his name. He won in the British Grand Prix. He won last week in the United States Grand Prix. In every race where he's finished in the points, he's finished in the top 5. Only has one. He does have a do not start to his name, but that hasn't affected him. Going into this race, 25 points between himself and one underdog. Gap between them now is going to be 15 points. So, with that, Lewis has put himself into championship contention. And he's coming around the final couple of corners. He's been day and night here in the night race of Singapore. He comes around the final corner. Lewis in the Williams wins in Singapore. He takes the Singapore Grand Prix for his 3rd win of the season. And he did it in quite a calm and collected style. Gary will come home to take 2nd place and close in on Underdog. In the Drivers' Championship, Underdog will come home to take P3. He didn't quite have the pace of the front 2, but he will gladly take 3rd place in this race. McLaren, a great day for McLaren. It's about time they've had this. Whiffy, he's going to come home to take 4th. Sinone is going to take 5th. Both McLarens in the top 5. That is exactly how they wanted to get their season well up and running. Dennis will come home to take 6th after what was probably the most roller coaster of a race for him. But he will take 6th place to his name. Redeemer, eventually, he's going to come around to take P7. After what was not looking great, he managed to bring home quite a few points. La Balloon will come home in P8. Frizy will take P9. Quick Tongue will take the last points paying position. Shredder just missing out. 5 DNFs, 4 safety cars, but it provided quite an entertaining race. Let's see who takes the top spot for the 3rd race. Well, for his 3rd race win. And another pole position. It was quite a long one, but there was still a lot that was going on. Oh, yeah. That is the beauty of Tier 3. That's just the beauty of it. And well, Lewis clearly enjoying his time in Tier 3. Yeah, he does the gritty once more. And he will take his 3rd win of the season, putting himself firmly into championship contention. And the 2 in front of him, well, they're the 2 alongside him on the podium. Gary and Underdog. Gary finishing in 2nd place, closing the points gap between himself and the Red Bull to just 2 points between the front 2. And Lewis now 15 points. And, well, we've passed the halfway point of this season. That's right. After round 8, there are 8 rounds left of the championship. And, well, it's going to come down to the wire. Lewis wins in Singapore, ahead of Gary, ahead of Underdog. A top 3 in the championship, finished top 3 in the race. McLaren, a great race for them. They will take 4th and 5th, respectively. Whiffy ahead of Sinone. That's exactly how Whiffy wanted to get his season underway and going. Dennis will come home to take 6th, ahead of Loud Balloon. Then Redeemer comes home in 8th, ahead of Frizy, I think. Yeah, okay, I was right. I wasn't looking at the numbers. But yeah, Frizy in 9th, Quick Tongue in 10th, Shredder unable to get a point, and we lost to Coach, Iceman, Chill, Lexter, and Flynn from a wild and wacky Singapore Grand Prix. May have been a long one, but we still got a lot. So I'm trying to get our 1st place driver onto the podium for interviews. But we can quickly get this started. And Q-Man, take us away. Drivers, be sure to include your interviews. And Q-Man, take it away. Underdog, P3.
Underdog, my boy, man. Good P3 finish. It was a little quiet for you at that last safety car restart, but let's talk about before then. The rain and the strategy, it was a big question mark for a lot of drivers. What are your thoughts on this insane race?
Yeah. It was not an easy race for me though. Uh, After that second restart, I just decided just to tune out the race and just drive to the end. It was just a boring race for me. The rain, I actually made the right call staying out, going in the pits, but stay on the slicks. I kept asking, when's the rain ending? It wasn't. It was gonna end like within 5 minutes. Then once we got the safety car restart, the track got dry. So yeah, it was just a boring race though overall. But congratulations to Gary and Hewis. They're in a whole nother world. They had the pace I didn't. So
Well, nonetheless, it looks like it's going to be a three-way fight for a championship in the second half of the season. So, yeah, so basically, Miniko, do you have any questions for Underdog before I move on to Gary?
If I could unmute myself, I can. Yeah, there we go. I got it. I do have a question. So, after the Singapore Grand Prix, we have now passed the halfway point of this championship. And, well, we're starting it off with a amazing track. That's right. It's the Belgian Grand Prix. What do you think of your chances there going through the halfway point of this season?
I'm not really focused on that right now. I'm just focusing on the next race. So that being Spa. So that's that's a whole different track all of a sudden. You had the low downforce track here in Singapore with a lot of turns. Now we're going to high speed circuit. But anything could happen.
Yeah, anything can happen indeed. We'll just have to see in just a week's time. Once again, congratulations to you on your P3 finish. And Q-Man, take it away. Gary, P2.
Gary, bit of you went the opposite of Not Underdog. Who went on hards and you went on mediums. What were your thoughts on the last few months of the race? What was your take on that? Did you think that you could maybe work the mediums a little bit, or maybe that those mediums were not the right call?
Well, I started on the hards, and for that safety car, that was only, I think it was about 2 laps before my initial pit stop anyway, so I knew that by the end the mediums were going to be a bit sketchy. But like I say, I had to change my compound, and I wasn't going to the inters because I knew, like Underdog said, how quick it dries at Singapore. It was only going to be a flash. Just try and bounce through that, and then try and catch Hewis, but man's in another league. He's untouchable. Great race.
Yeah, congrats on P2. Yeah, my mistake. I forgot you start on hard, so bit of a commentary mistake on my end. But like I said, the Underdog, you have a three-way fight in the championship between Underdog yourself and Hewis going into the second half of the season. So what are your thoughts on that?
Like I say, good battles with Underdog as always. It's always going to be close between us two. But the way that Hewis is climbing up the ranks and the leaderboard recently, God knows what's going to happen in the future. Like I say, only just past the halfway point. He's got a lot of time to take over, and I think anything's possible. So yeah, just try and get my head down and move on to the next race. There we go.
Alright, well, Miniko, do you have any questions for Gary here?
No, I do not. Once again, congratulations to you on your second place finish. It was hard fought, but the win was just a little bit too far away, but still, second place, closing in the Drivers' Championship. It's still not a bad day overall. But yeah, congratulations to you on second place. And with that, we'll move over to the winner of the Singapore Grand Prix. Huis, you got pole. You led majority of the race. In the dying stages, though, the pressure was there between yourself and Gary. It was looking close. It was looking tight. But you managed to keep it calm. You managed to keep it cool. And, well, from pole to the win, once again, your third win of the season, and firmly putting yourself in the fight for the driver's title. Huis, tell us your thoughts on the Singapore Grand Prix.
Yeah, happy I got pole. Just tried to keep going through the whole race. It was really tough, especially when I knew that rain was coming. I decided to stay on the mediums because I just felt like safety cars was just going to keep on coming out. And I think that the first two safety cars were what saved me and got me the win today, because without them, especially the second one, I would not have been able to win that. And I'm honestly just glad that I did not pit, and finally I made the right decision under safety car to not pit during the rain. So that really did help me get the win today.
Yeah, pretty much everything you said there was exactly what you needed to do. And while you do it, you grab your third win. And going through into the second half of this season, 15 points between yourself and the championship lead. And, well, going into Belgium, what are you thinking going into that race, knowing that you have a shot of this championship? Like, what's going through your mind right now?
Well, right now I'm just trying to stay as relaxed as possible. Just gonna keep on practicing just like I did for this race, and just keep on pushing and trying to get these results.
Yep, that is definitely going to be the aim and the goal into the second half of the season. Q-Man, do you have any questions for our race winner?
Negatory. I do not have any questions. Other than that, I will say congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Yep, and I will say congratulations again to your win, and congratulations, of course, to Gary and Underdog for their podiums, respectively. And with that, Tier 3, done, dusted, but be sure to tune in next week, though, for the Belgian Grand Prix. That's right, at Spa-Francorchamps. It's always going to be an exciting race at Belgium, and it so often is. So be sure to tune into that. But okay, English words. All right. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, though, for Tier 1 and Tier 2, as they shall take to the night race of Singapore. And those races, if Tier 3 is anything to go by, we're in for a spectacle in Tier 1 and Tier 2, so be sure to tune into that. And then next week, second half of the season, championships starting to boil down, and we're also starting the Belgian Grand Prix, starting, of course, same time, next week, Tier 3. You don't want to miss it. The championship is coming down to the wire. The second half is going to be all the more exciting. But from Q-Man and I, that's going to be everything. Good day, good night. See you tomorrow for Tier 1 and Tier 2.